Alrighty, ready for another installment of Hands Coins. So, it's probably going to be a 3-part series. I've been procrastinating since the beginning of this year. Now I got to stockpile it, and everybody's riding my butt about what the heck are you going to sit there and show these things off or what? So, start with this. This box actually I got at the beginning of the year, and like I said, I meant to show it off way back then, but. So this is all from Cheapskate Coins. So Lewis does his auctions every Monday. And so I've already gone through and classified most of these coins so I can get them in my albums, which I still have been meaning to do. Yeah, whenever I get my butt out. So we'll start with this first. So don't really have much for barbers left in my collection. Most of them were pretty slick and I got rid of them, but hard to get them in a pretty good condition, and I actually got this one for a pretty good price. And this has been labeled and graded by Rick Snow, so pretty legit guy. So, all right, let's start with this 1806. Now, I don't even know if this is even going to show up. Obviously, my lighting situation is really crappy because I am not in my office. But I am going to send this in for one of those, what the heck am I got a brain fart for? So those basically those coins where you can barely read it. So you can read the date on this, but I wanted to send it in for one of those slabs that you basically where the coins are just almost literally nothing. So, and then I got a 1853 half cent. I think this is actually my first half cent, and the condition on this one is pretty immaculate. I missed out on the last one. Got taken for it. Well, actually got beat out for it. But it's got actually really minor toning, and you can still see a little bit of the red from the original coin. Beautiful coin. And then I can never have enough of 3-cent silvers, or trimes, as everybody likes to call them. I got an 1853, an 1858. Usually you pay a pretty good penny for those. Got those for a fairly good deal. And then I've actually got my first half dime. And this thing's actually in pretty good shape. You take a microscope and you actually could see even some of the details of the head. So not quite high AU, but definitely I would call it an extra fine. And then got one of these because I haven't had an 1853 with rays and arrows. So I actually prefer this look for the seated Liberty coins. Well, I should say for the quarters. But I ended up getting this later in this package. And this one, I believe, has been cleaned probably 20 or 30 years ago, which is unfortunate because the details on this thing are immaculate. It is not harshly clean, but somebody did take a cloth to this, unfortunately. So there's really not much for luster in the field. So I looked at it. It hasn't been whizzed or anything which you would consider harshly. But unfortunately, somebody back in the day thought getting rid of the toning because of the details would be worth it. And of course, we know that's not the case. So I ended up getting this. Thought this was actually pretty interesting. So San Francisco Mint with the Morgan dollar. It is proof. So pretty beautiful coin. So obviously I'm big on the Morgan dollar, so something right up my alley. All right, now we're getting into foreign silver. So I got a Portugal 2.5 escudos. So Luxembourg, this is actually one coin. I've got a couple big Luxembourgs, but I don't have this particular coin. And I ended up actually getting 2 of them. Like I said, this package was probably put together over at least a minimum of a 4-month period. And I usually don't like to get them really big because the last package I got shipped last week, actually, my mailman almost screwed up. I don't know if he was trying to sign for it or if he took it to a wrong neighbor, but I almost didn't even get that package, which, man, that was like the worst 20 minutes of anxiety I ever felt. But that'll probably be the last video you'll see because it's a pretty substantial box. So we got a Hungary 1576, 1 dinar. And then I think Miska is the little ruler at the time. But, oh, actually, maybe that's just the coin. So Maximilian would be the ruler, so I have to look up who's that one. But here's a 1577, excuse me. 1 dinar from Hungary. Let's see if I can get that. Let's see here. Fix that. Oh, there we go. A little bit better. Netherlands, 25 cent. There's a Netherlands 10 cents. Now this thing's pretty dang tiny, so I would consider this smaller than a dime. This would probably be close to the silver nickels from Canada that are considered the fish scales. Here's another one. And now it's got a little more toning, but they are BU. Then I have a 1960 Africa 5 shilling. The 1934 5 mark. An AEU. Got one of those, but it's not nearly that nice, so that will be an upgrade. And then here is something I've never seen. This is actually a German States, but this is an African coin. And it is a 10 heller. And this is copper nickel, and it is not silver, although it looks pretty silverish for a coin that old. All right, next we have another German commemorative. There's one actually I don't have. This is 1987. It's a little more newer than a lot of the ones I have from the late 60s, early 70s, all the way up to, I think, 78. So, yeah, this is probably one of my more modern German commemoratives. But I think I've got about 20, maybe 25 different commemoratives along the years. So, British large penny. Started getting into a lot more of the older coppers, especially if I can find them in really good shape. So I got a Britain 1 shilling, and I need to get a couple bucks because I've got more British coins than I can possibly imagine that I can actually probably start filling those books up and almost completing sets. So. And 1933 5 francs. I think this will be my second version. That one's actually in better shape than the one I've got. So Danish West Indies. This one I did really like the design on it. God, this lighting sucks. Let me see if I can fix that. Change that a little bit. So there we go. Oh, 5-bit too. Not like 8-bit like the old Nintendos. Alright, adjust my stand here. So next we've got Canadian, 1935 Canadian dollar. And I should have, so is that the first year? I think that is the, yeah, that is, so this would be the first year Canadian dollar. And then here's a second year, 1936. Luster's still really, really nice on these coins. This came out of a guy's personal collection. It was on consignment through Lewis. And third year, the luster on this thing is pretty dang good too. Probably would say they'd either be a low mint state, maybe a high AU. I mean, they still have some chatter marks. And then this is probably one of my favorite Canadian dollars. And this thing I actually should send in. But this is a 1949 proof. And it's been listed as it would be a Mint State 64. Looking at it for a proof, yeah, that would be pretty optimistic to hit that. Or hopeful, I should say. But it is a beautiful coin. So that, I've got several of those, but nothing that nice. And like I said, I probably might just get that sent in. So, and then we have Canadian 5 cents. So I was saying that Netherlands dime is about the same size as that. And I actually ended up picking up a whole bunch of these because they did basically a bundle deal. So I was actually to get these at a really great price. So I have 1880, 1881, 1888, 1891, 1892, 1896, 1911, 1912, 1913, 1914, 1917, 1918, and 1920. So, yeah, like I said, got my first one, I don't know, probably the last package, so it would probably late last year. And then, like I said, he did a whole deal on these, and I just pretty much bought them all. So, don't even have any Canadian albums, but I sure have got enough nice Canadian coins. Then I've got a bunch of Mexican copper, but nothing even remotely this nice. They're usually so slick you can even barely even make out the design on them. Obviously, you can't even see the dates on the ones that I own, but so I picked this up to put with the rest of my Mexican coinage. I have to organize this here, so I'm making a mess here. And then 1968, 25 pesos. Another 68, 25 pesos. 1978. 10 peso. And 1970 half Balboa. This I think is actually my first Balboa. I've got quarter, I've got 1/10, and I've got full Balboas. So this would be my first half. Pretty low mintage. So happy to have that. Oh, I forgot about this. So one of my few gold pickups that I've gotten. So $50. This is actually my first Bahama gold coin. So be excited to put that in there. Then I like the Bahamas because, well, I got one of these sitting right behind me, but I always like the proof finish on these coins. Always like the designs. Another one. This is a $2. And I have actually got this one here, and I am not even able to put this in my album because it's so dang big. It's $5. I missed out on getting a $10. Got taken by Kelly Ray for that thing, but that was a beautiful coin as well. So, alrighty. So we have a Bermuda 1 crown. Denmark 2 kroner. Denmark 10 ore. Another Denmark 10 ore. And this is Sweden. 50 ore. Yeah, some of these coins are so dark, they're really... So I got 2 Japanese copper pieces. Oh, actually, no, they're not Japanese. These are copper or Chinese copper. So this one has been kind of cleaned and it's started to take its toning back. And this one here, it's got a little bit of rub from fingers, but double dragon on this one. This one's got a dragon, and I think it had the turtle dove on it. I have to take a look at the magnifying glass to be able to see it because it's so dark, but some of those Chinese coins, you know, we all seen the ones with the round with the square punch in them and stuff like that, but don't see those too often. Prussia, German state, 3 mark. This thing is actually a really, really beautiful shape. Aside from the ring dings, which is unfortunate, but this thing's actually got a lot of its original luster, and that purplish brown toning is just really nice. I don't think the camera's going to quite show it up, but yeah. Yeah, 1886. Every time I can get one of these for a fairly good deal, I will pick it up. This one's actually got some beautiful toning down there, which is up there. This one, yeah, that'll probably get AU details. I mean, it looks like it's per mint state, but there's a couple iffy spots on it. So 1768 2 ore. This is Sweden. Now this is just a big, thick, chunky piece of copper. Let's say it's dang near almost 3/16 thick, so probably about 4 millimeters thick. But like I said, I started getting into the old coppers. Yeah, and I even got this one of these for the first time, which I've been wanting to get one. Last one I saw was Hold, and I passed on it. But I was able to get this thing for actually a pretty good deal. 1797. And this thing actually weighs more than the 5 Kopek copper round. This thing is a full 2 ounces of copper. Ooh. Yeah, they just took out my flip. Oh. And in here we have, I think these are just a lot of commemoratives. So I usually try to get my stuff separated so I could store it with where I want. So this is a Marshall Islands commemorative. This is clad. This is my second one. I really like the design on this coin. Of course, I'm into the space stuff too, so, you know. So I picked this up as well, just to have a second one in my collection. Picked up some silver quarters. Obviously, I think this was a lot, and I ended up wanting a couple out of them, but another Ellis Island. Yeah, a couple Canadian Goose dollars. Oh, here's the other silver buffalo. So I heard the silver quarter. So yeah, I wanted the buffalo, wanted the Mount Rushmore. And actually I like the design on the Nevada too. So yeah, 3 out of the 5. Not too bad though. Definitely will take that all day. So that was the coins for the box. Let me see what I have gotten for the bills. I have actually not taken a look at them yet to see what I got interested in grabbing. I'll slip these all back in my box and make room for myself here. Alright, so bills. Let's see what I got here. I think that's a leak Albania. Actually started getting into this foreign currency mostly for the colors and the artist graphs and the look of them. But and of course, sometimes I'll get lucky and actually find one in a better shape, and then I could trade it out. Nepal, yakety yak. Don't talk back. Always interesting to see what other countries will put on their currency. Of course, a lot of times they usually will use their history to sit there and showcase their money. So it's another way to actually get to learn about a lot of these countries, not just from the coins, but even as well from the currency. So just a small handful of bills. So that will do it for that package. And like I said, that is Cheapskate coins. And Lewis has his auctions every Monday afternoon. I think it's 4 o'clock Arizona time. And if you guys want to join in, and he does bin auctions. And if you get onto his mailing list, he also will send you the auction list pretty early, a few days, and you can actually pre-purchase before the auction. So you can actually get in there and get the early birds and actually pick up some of the stuff before he even hits the show. Good way if you don't have time to sit there and go through it, but I always get the list. I always still try to make it. Some things I'm looking for, and I'll hit them up. Some things I'm on defense, and then I just want to put eyes on it. It can get fierce at times, depending on who's there, and then sometimes it can be easy breezy. But I've had some killer coins that I've gotten through him from the last couple of years, so you guys should check it out. Cheapskate coins, and put them on your schedule. Check them out. All right, thank you guys, and you'll see the next one. Have a good day.